Hey guys, welcome back to Techalicious. Today we're having a look at the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. My favorite buds by far. I've owned the previous buds and then the Icon X from Samsung as well, and these are far and away the best offering yet. Powered by 8kg audio, Bluetooth 5, boasting 11 hours of play for the buds with 22 hours if you include the case. What's really cool is you can get 3 hours of play with fast charging from just a 10-minute charge. This little pill box is just super easy to keep in your pocket and slide in. You barely know it's there. It's a smaller case than the Bud and the Icon X case. And they've just released a couple of updates which are really cool. So you've got now this ambient sound piece with 3 levels of control on it, which I have to say works really well. Like, I don't particularly like ambient sound settings because it just gives you this kind of tinny impression of the real world. I'd rather just pause or take out a bud for most instances, but can appreciate there are some users who would get real value out of that. And the new feature where you can just hold the left hand, hold your finger on the left bud, and it will launch your last playlist on Spotify, which is great. I think it's really cool for getting going. It'd be cool if there was just a little tweak where you could set which playlist it was going to play, or additionally if you could choose other apps like Audible perhaps to play. But it's a good start, and I imagine that feature will probably roll out. So just one tip on color. So they're available in black, blue and white. Previously I had the white ones, and I have to say, unless you are some fantasy person that lives completely on Instagram, you're going to have earwax occasionally. And on a white tip, or in the case, wax shows, and I think it's just a bit unsightly. It looks a bit unclean. It got my OCD going a little bit. So the black would be my preference from this perspective. In terms of what you get inside the box, you get a number of different tips for the buds. What would be lovely actually is to see some foam tips as well. So I just had some Sony buds recently, and they gave you like tons and tons of options, almost too many. To empty this all out, you get 3 variations size-wise of buds, and then the wings to stay in your ear. So I think, for most people, the medium of each works really well for me. It's fine for exercise, so I do fairly heavy gym stuff and running and jumping around, and generally trying to get the heart rate going, and they stay in and it's fine. Occasionally I have to kind of twist it back in a little bit, but I think that's as the sweat builds up maybe. But in terms of comfort, the most comfortable buds that I've worn, they're fairly discreet. They don't stick out of your ear too much, which is awesome. Call quality, really strong. They've got 3 microphones, 2 external and 1 internal, so they pick things up great. I wouldn't advise using them outside if it's windy, but there's nothing I would advise using outside under those circumstances. So for going around the house and everything else, it's fine, with a bit of extra range courtesy of Bluetooth 5. Another little neat feature, if you've got, say, a Samsung Note 10 or a device that can do wireless charging, is you can just plonk it on the back of the phone and it will wirelessly charge for you at a slower rate, obviously, than being plugged in. And if you're talking about being plugged in, it's USB-C, which is great. You can do fast charging. So I would wholeheartely recommend this, especially if you're already in the Samsung ecosystem and you want to keep things really nice and neat. For the price, you're getting a lot of satisfaction, usability, comfort, battery life, and what seems like a regular schedule of updates to keep it all fresh. Wholeheartedly recommend, fit for purpose, double thumbs up, the best effort from Samsung so far.